All right, so at this point, I will be so pleased to introduce Mr. Emil Reutter. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Can we give a round of applause for the staff at Cafe Improv? They do a great job. So my first poem may apply to some people here tonight, I'm not sure, but it's called Saturday Night Sinners. Troubadours sing songs whose lyrics have long lost their meaning. Tina circles Dave on the dance floor. She eyes up Johnny at the bar who chugs another beer, wondering where his wife is. The band sings Born to Run. Tina laughs at the crowd dancing, changing the lyric to Born to Jog or Walk Really Fast. Dave scores a blonde and leaves. Tina saddles up next to Johnny, listening to the Cheat on Me blues, waiting for him to take her where she wants to go. Sunday morning comes as Dave picks the tinted blue hair from his pillow. Johnny and his wife enter the church. Tina walks by and winks as Johnny notices the pastor eyeing up his wife. Dave runs in, sitting down, not noticing the blue-haired lady until she places her hand on his knee, cringing, knowing he can't get away, and here they all sit. Saturday night sinners and Sunday morning forgiveness. In bars, there's lots of characters that normal people don't see, and they're usually in the shadows, and this is a poem about one of those characters, and it's called Book in the Shadows. He writes in his book, eyes the bar, sits in the shadows, blends into the mahogany, never has to buy a drink. Small frame, rests on stool, cane leans on bar. He shifts in his seat, leans forward, eyeing each television, playing different games, watches the door, checks his book, spots strangers. First game over, he buys a round for the bar, takes out his book and waits as they make their way to the shadows. Hours pass as he collects more than he pays out. Anticipation. Morning is quiet, traffic slow, call of train echoes through streets. Praying man needs the beads on the steps to the church, recites. 9 miles away, an old fighter lays on a sidewalk, writes letters with a pen that doesn't work. Out of sync, misfits and missteps lead to sidewalks and church steps of crack pipes and flasks. In tap rooms, clubs for those who leave with someone, that gnawing inside. Darkness of early morning settles in as the praying man sits on the steps. Boxer drifts to sleep. Neon lights of nightlife turn off. So one thing Pennsylvania and New Jersey do have in common is diners. And this is a poem called November in a Diner. Varicose veins hidden under knee highs, 36 years walking this floor, watching as young ones come and go. She collects tips, works the hours, pulls the shifts, slings plate after plate across the tables, never a spill. The counter full of lonely old men who stare at reflections in shiny steel wall as young girls sit in booths, fix their hair in the tinted windows. Neither notice one or another. A young couple sit in the rear on a first date, share a sundae next to a cluster of union men and politicians plotting election strategy, buzzing from dozens of cups of coffee. She walks the floor, refills the cups, leaves the bill, collects the tips as they leave. Busboys fill bin after bin with dishes, glasses, cups. She counts her tips, rests her swollen feet on the seat across from her. So this is a two-part poem. From the Valley, 1. The road was potholed, ruts crisscrossed, descending into the valley of dead trees and stream empty of life, heart strewn along the banks, broken, covered with dry ice and holes. Empty-eyed woman, stone-faced men run in place. Wild-eyed woman, marble-eyed men run in circles, stomping hearts that do not bleed. Rain pours from the sunless sky, yet the ground is dry. Clouds of dust blow east to west. Boulders on the hill weep dry tears. Broken vines hang from leafless trees whose roots hang in midair, caked in dust. 2. On a hill far above all that is dead sits a woman staring north, singing a song. A song is sung by a woman staring north, drawing me through dust, past stumps, over boulders to the voice of this woman on the hill, staring north, singing the song that draws me from the valley to the hill. Above the dead, heartless, her voice whirls around me to the top of the hill. She sings a song that warms, points north to a new valley and stands. We descend over boulders, past hardy trees, to the place that waits for us. She dances, her eyes radiant. I follow. In this city, I tire of streetlights, traffic lights, gaudy neon lights that flash open until the door is locked. Lights that illuminate our path into circles, circles of walking in circles. And I met the man with empty dreams who sat on a bench and stared into his future that he could not see. Rays of sunlight cast upon him. He did not say a word. He had nothing to say. I walked by the small wooded area where they say people live, and I heard the silent howl of loneliness, not knowing what the day would bring. She passed by me, singing a song, danced around the light poles, strutted on sidewalk until she forgot a word, sat on the curb and cried. The angry man was fighting with snowflakes, trying to catch each one until a trickle of water brought him to his knee. He lay in the park as flakes, one by one, covered him. Orphaned leaves of autumn blows in winter's wind, crusty particles and whirlpools blend with falling snow into the darkness of the ground. So I used to drive Diane's daughter to voice lessons about a block off the Italian market in Philadelphia. That's where Rocky runs up the middle of the outdoor market. That's a lot more than that, of course. And this is a little poem about what I observed during that time. It's called Melting. It was a hot summer day, a half block away. I could hear you singing tunes from Les Mis as folks stood under the window listening. Italian, Vietnamese, Mexican vendors hawking in cadence. Houseware stores, hardware stores, and Molly's books intertwined with food vendors. The smell of meat and fish lingered in air as a minister and three folks laid hands on each other in a parking lot while water ice dripped on the warm cement. So my daughter's 30 years old, and when she was in grade school, they send the kids home with those half cartons with the marigolds in them. So we planted it, and lo and behold, within 2 months, the thing was this high. So it was taller than she was, and I never figured out how that happened. I think there might have been oil in the ground or something. So this is a poem from my daughter called Growing Up for Katie. Dawn breaks sunstreams through blinds into the place I call home. It is now that I think of you in the solitude of first light. I find in this season of the year I miss you most. Remember the grand marigolds you planted during a summer of change, how time has passed so quickly. Yet I remember the occasion of your childhood as if it was just yesterday. Listen to your dreams again. Today you will visit me, spend time, and I will once again listen in awe of all that you do and the love that is you. And as beautiful as you are when you leave, I will still see the orangey heads of the marigold swaying in the summer wind above your head. Thank you.
Whoops. Oh, man, that was odd. Sorry. Emil Reutter, thank you very much. Cafe Improvs consistently, we find out that our at-home audience, the favorite parts of the show are poets.